Hello, my loves. Welcome to Cacao Chats with Cass. I hope you are well. And yeah, I hope you had a beautiful weekend. It was Mother's Day yesterday here in Australia. So happy Mother's Day to all the mamas. And also sending love to those without mothers, those trying to conceive. It can be a really triggering day. It's very bittersweet for me. Obviously, I lost my mama a few years ago and I am a mother. So it's like this dance between celebrating, feeling so much joy and like grateful, and then to the like grief and the sadness that comes up as well. And then I chose to watch a movie that was about a mother and daughter, which was very silly, but also it helped the tears flow. So anyway, we are here this morning. I am here this morning preparing my cacao. I would say I haven't had a great start to the day. I didn't wake up and do my usual yoga, which I'm trying to get into the routine of every Monday, because I felt really tired. So I slept in and I just got up and went straight into mum mode. So here I am, able to drop into my own little ritual, obviously with all of you, but I'm very excited to sit in this ritual because I really need the space. So I've got my cacao ready to go, which I will cut up very soon into 2 tablespoons, about that much. That's how much I have as my daily serve. I've got my cayenne pepper as my activator. I am using or popping in some collagen, and also I am Gaia because we are trying to conceive and I'm really trying to get everything working, like my blood and everything just working as it should, strengthening it. I'm going to use Blue Lotus today as well as a little tincture, and also rose, because I'm really feeling that my heart wants to open and expand even more as I sit in this ritual. I feel like there's some tears that need to flow again today, so I'm really going for it. And I've also got my maple syrup and all of my tools, my filtered water, my cacao cup, and of course, these trusty tools that are going to help me along the way. So let's get started. I'm going to start cutting my cacao up. So one of the questions I got asked was about postpartum recovery and finding myself in motherhood, which has been such a big journey, guys. Like, I've not even shown or told half of it on Instagram or any platforms. I've started talking about things in podcasts that I've been on recently, but my journey was so hectic, so full on. And as most of you know, I lost my mum at 30 weeks pregnant. So I had a baby in my belly, moving through so much grief, and just felt like I needed to stay strong for this baby and get through the pregnancy. And I was hoping to have a home birth and this beautiful experience that wasn't in hospital, because I just seen my mum die in hospital and I didn't want to be in that environment. It felt like the hospital, it was death. It wasn't about new life. So that was why I chose to do this home birth experience, which didn't work out, by the way. I had really high blood pressure on my mum's birthday, which was the 17th of August. Asher was born 2 days later on the 19th of August, but that's when I had to go into hospital because my blood pressure was just going up and up and up and up. I do think it had something to do with my mum. She wanted to be me in a hospital. She wanted me to birth in a hospital, not at home. So but also my body was just not ready. So we went through that whole process of trying to get the baby out, and my body was not budging. I was not in a surrender phase of my life. I couldn't surrender. I couldn't soften. I was holding on to so much grief and so much trauma. I look back now and I'm like, oh, Cass, oh my gosh, you're amazing for thinking that you could home birth. But I just had way too much to work through. Anyway, so I'm not going to go through the birth story. You can listen to that on a podcast that I was on recently, on the Nurtured Beings podcast. And I might share one day. But for now, we'll just talk about postpartum. So once I got home, I'm just putting some cayenne pepper on my board. I feel like the first 3 months were pretty easy in terms of like you're in such a love bubble and everyone's there to support. They're checking in, they're calling, you know. You feel like you've got support. I had a COVID baby, so I definitely didn't have the family. Like we had to meet at the border. Like it was absolutely ridiculous. Like, hello. Anyway, we'll go into that another time. I feel like the first 3 months, I was very adamant that the first 40 days I was not moving. I was not leaving the house. I was not going to be one of those women up bouncing back. Definitely not. I did that on purpose because when I went into like learning about postpartum and your body and what it needs, what really hit me was like, if you don't take care of yourself in that first 40 days, especially when the body is healing, it will all come out in menopause. That's when the body will break down. That is when the body will be like, you know what, screw you. You didn't look after me when I really needed you to, and you went straight back into working and exercising and doing things too quickly. And so I was very adamant that I was not going to do that. So I laid on my back for a very long time. I had people come to me, so I had lots of practitioners. I was getting body work, I was getting kinesiology. They were probably the main two that I was working with, and then I was doing some healing work, which was more online. But I was pretty banged up. Very banged up. I did have a vaginal birth, but I was in hospital for days, and the actual labor experience was a very long, intense time, and I did tear. I just had a lot of trauma. And then obviously once Asha was out, it was like, okay, now my body can start to heal from everything, all of the trauma that I've experienced. So for me, my experience was very full on, and I know that's not everyone's experience, but the one thing that I would recommend is try not to go back into life too quickly if you can. Like, it's there, it's going to be there, and I think it's just like allowing your body to heal how it wants to by being like resting and hydrating and eating all of the nourishing foods and getting taken care of, like being able to receive. That is like you in your feminine, like being able to receive all of the care, all of the love, all of the nourishment from others, asking for help. Like this was such a big thing for me, like having to ask for help. And Jordan and I's relationship was, oh my gosh, so rocky for a very long time. There was moments where it was like, okay, we're done, we're over. It's so difficult relationship wise, or it was for us. You are a person before you fall pregnant, then you change when you fall pregnant, and then you completely change when you become a mother. Like it's this big shift, and not knowing who you actually are. Like I was so lost. I gave up my job I gave up my work when I fell pregnant because everything was going on with my mum as well, and it just felt like everything just crumbled. It was like my life just crumbled. My family, I'd moved to Byron from Bondi, so all of my community were gone. I just felt really alone and like, what the heck is happening? I just need to let everything go. And it was like I had to start again, but I didn't know what I was actually going to do. So yeah, postpartum, I guess after the first 3 months, so after that period, I was like, okay, well, this is where you just go back to life, right? This is what you hear. You go back into life and everything's normal, and I'll be able to work again and do all these things and, take my baby out and have all these wonderful experiences. That was not my experience. My nervous system was so unregulated. I literally would cry every single day, every single night. Every night I would put Ashley to bed, I would be bawling my eyes out. And it was like this, I was missing mum, so I was feeling all this grief. And then I was like, oh my gosh, like, is this my life? What is this? I just want to go out and have a wine. Like I couldn't surrender into motherhood either. I found it really difficult. And I guess what I would have shown on Instagram, for instance, was all of the happy moments, but I didn't show the moments which was every day, where I really felt deep grief for not only losing my mother, but for losing myself, losing the woman that I knew for so many years. Like, I'd lost the fun, I'd lost the joy. I was so lost. It was just horrible. It was really, really challenging. And the worst thing you can do is go online and see all of these mothers that looks like they're thriving, you know. Oh, I love motherhood, it's so amazing. All of these amazing experiences are out, you know, taking their kids, their babies to mothers groups and this and that. Like, I could hardly get in the car. Asher hated getting in the car. He would scream his head off the entire time. And with my nervous system being so unregulated, I was like, oh my gosh. So I'd go into like these panic attacks. It was really challenging. So it was easier just to stay put, stay in the house, and just, kind of go stir crazy in the home, right? My partner was working, and as I said, that was a lot of tension too, because you're two different people now. Well, definitely the mama is a different person straight away, but the dad, I think, takes a little bit more time to grow and evolve into this new role. And he kept saying to me, like, where's fun, Cass? Where's all, you know, the joy and the fun? I was like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't feel fun. I don't feel myself. I feel horrible. There was so many moments where we almost broke up. And I think you have to be honest about that. Like, I think we need to be sharing this. It's tough for a relationship. It's tough for, you know, I think all relationships, things change. Friends that don't have babies, it's so much harder to relate to because they don't get it. And it's not like there's anything wrong with that. I was that person for years. But then when you have baby, you're like, oh, no, I can't actually make that time. Oh, no, that doesn't work for me. And no, I need that sleep then, or whatever it is. So it's really hard to get it. You don't get it until you're in it, until you're in motherhood and you experience the sleep deprivation, your body healing, you're completely lost who you are. Like, all of the things are just changing, you know. I'm just going to do a little clearing. Good smoke. Please liberate any heaviness and infinite blessings to this ceremony. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I found it really challenging, and for me, thank goodness I had so much support, and I called in so much support when I needed it, because I did. And that's why I had so many healers, body workers, kinesiologists, just so many different support networks that could help me through this, because it was a complete crumbling of what I knew and a rebuild. And as I said, this started in pregnancy, but then just went whoa tenfold when in postpartum. Hopefully I don't have anything on my nose. So I really had to look at my shit. I really had to look at all of the shadow, all of the dark stuff that I had not looked at before, because it was all coming out. It was all there on display, because I didn't feel much lightness. Of course there was so much joy that I felt for my little, my son, but there was so much other stuff, and that was really confusing. So I'm like, I should be just so in love with life right now, but I'm not. I didn't feel that gratitude. And to be honest, there were moments where I was like, I don't want to be here. I don't think I have any purpose. What am I doing? I didn't know what I wanted to do work-wise. I came from the training world, and then I moved into more working, helping women connect with their hearts, connect with their bodies again. But I felt so disconnected again. It was oh my gosh, I feel like this should have been a beautiful experience where I could speak about it and share this, and it just wasn't. And it was just a very different experience that I was calling in, and that I thought I was going to receive, especially after receiving so much having so much grief in my pregnancy, and I went down this poor me, why me, like all of this. Yeah, I just felt really, really angry with the world, really upset that I had received this that felt like punishment, like I was being punished for something I've done something wrong. But in fact, of course, when I look back, that was where all of the growth was happening, in those uncomfortable moments, which was for the last few years. Like, honestly, I don't think I got out of the bubble of feeling really low until this year. Like, this year has really hit a new level of like, oh, okay, I feel myself again, or I found myself again, this new version of me. And it's taken a lot of work. It has taken so much work, and I wouldn't have gone there if it hadn't have been so painful and really having to look at parts of myself that I had not looked at before. So yeah, that was my experience, which seems really hectic, and going on social media through those years was really tough and really triggering, and I had to mute and block and unfollow a lot of people just to keep my mental health at bay. I definitely experienced like a postpartum depression. But I think, I don't know, I don't even know if you call it that. I feel like it was just so much that I had to work through. But it had to be done. Like, it had to be done in that way for me to really go there. Because if things were easy and I'd really been able to, find myself quicker, I wouldn't have gone to the depths of where I went. And I'm still going to those depths for sure. I'm just going to pop this cayenne pepper in and put the pot on. Leon goddess ish cacao maestra humbly. Please activate and bless this cacao with the highest frequencies of light and of love. Thank you. Yeah, so, oh my gosh, postpartum recovery is just about really being able to surrender, to be able to soften, to be able to receive all of the things that here, but like being in that can feel super uncomfortable. No, like the quicker you can do that, which I wish I had, and the messages I kept getting from my mum was just, stop thinking about work, stop thinking about that path. But that's really important to me. Working, earning money, that independence, that freedom is so important to me. And I would say really investigate your human design and your astrology chart, because then you can see or learn so much more about yourself and accept and love those parts of yourself. Like, I know that that's important to me. So I've learned to accept that that's going to be a big path. I can't just be a mother. And I know that people can, and that's amazing. But for me, that's not my only role in this world. That's not what I'm here to only do and to only be. So once I understood more about myself in that way, I could be like, soften a little bit more. And same with my partner, like learning about his chart is one of the things is his partner, he really like respects and loves them to be working and earning their own money. So, once you know these little things, it's like, I'm not doing anything wrong. You're not doing anything wrong. That's just who we are. That's how we're made up. We are complex beings. Yeah, so that's postpartum. Rest, nourish. Don't jump into things too quickly. There's no rush. If you've got the support to help you, and things just evolve, like getting into what I'm doing now, like serving this medicine of cacao and working in ceremony, that came from me every day sitting in ceremony and me working with the medicine, and it being such a profound anchor for me, like bringing me home to my body, to my heart, connecting me with the earth, connecting me with my guides, with my mum. It's been such a grounding, supportive medicine and process for me to drop into every day, for my healing and my mental health. And that's why I want to share it, and that's why I'm so passionate about it, because I think we all need something, like whatever that is for you, but finding what that is that every day can anchor you back in your heart, bring you back into, you know, the frequencies of love and gratitude and joy and harmony. And that's what this medicine and that's what ceremony does. So yeah, but whatever that is for everyone, but in particular the mamas out there that really need that extra support and love. And then that allowed me, like, sitting in ceremony or sitting in ritual every day and working with healers and working with coaches and working with these amazing women that have supported me has allowed me to just keep looking at what I need, like what I want, what I desire, like so important. You know, like, it's not just about serving the family and looking after the kids. It's like, what do you want? What do you need? And that's been a big journey for Jordan and I, being like, telling each other what we need and actually speaking our truth and speaking up. We had to go to counselling. I've done my own work. He's done his own work. It's not just like a walk in the park. It just happens. No, it doesn't. You've got to actually put in the work. And that is the work. And it's showing up every day and, like, looking at things. Like, even this morning, Jordan had to talk to me about something and I'm like, yeah. You know, that's something else I have to look at. But it is. And, you know, it's being able to speak and feeling safe to speak your truth with your partner and know that it's not always going to feel comfortable. Like, absolutely not. This whole time has felt so uncomfortable for me. Like, coming from the people pleaser world, coming from, just keep the peace with everyone and everything. All of that has crumbled because, just can't live like that, because then I'm giving away my power and I'm not servicing my needs first. And if I don't do that, then I have absolutely nothing to give to anyone. So my family know that. It's like, my time, my space, I need this. Otherwise I can't give my whole, you know, I can't give you everything or give you what you need. So that's it in a nutshell. Postpartum recovery and finding myself in motherhood. And it's still a journey. So I'm sending so much love. Like, find a support team, find people that can help you, reflect things back to you, like guide you on your journey. It's really important to have that team and that support that can do that. Find something that can anchor you every day and come back to your heart, get you out of your head, and ask for help. Really, really find out what your needs are, what you desire, what you want, and keep coming back to that. And know that you're not selfish. That's actually going to help not only you, but your family and your community. You know, the ripple of that is huge. And that's the change that is happening now. Anyway, I'm going to go have my cacao and drop into my heart. Let these tears flow that want to come out. And I'll see you all next week. Sending you lots of love. Whew.